Hey there, amplifiers. Glad to have you tuned back in, ready for another awesome segment as we have an awesome feature advisor who really knows how to look at analytics and make sure that you're using your data to make informed decisions to drive your business in the area that is most important for you. I'm excited to have him as a guest. He's the president and founder of Signature Analytics. He provides CFO and business advisory services and has been helping small businesses to enterprise level businesses for over 20 years. He's had some great highs, some great lows, and a lot of in between. And we're going to be chatting about those in today's episode. So, welcome to Growth Amplifiers, Jason Kruger. Jason,
Great.
welcome.
Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate it.
Excited to have you here. We were chatting before we got recording a little bit about how you got started in your entrepreneurial journey, and if you could help just share that background with our listeners, that would be a great first start.
I spent the first 9 to 10 years of my career in the public accounting world, financial statement audit. Spent some time with Moss Adams, which is a large national firm, and then spent even more time with Deloitte, one of the big four accounting firms, obviously a global firm, and really learned just so much about business just being in that field. Saw a bunch of companies from Fortune 500 companies down to startups to everything in between. Saw how they run their business. Got a significant introduction to finance and accounting in that world, and the value that it can bring to companies. And so I spent probably 7 or 8 more years than I thought I was going to spend when I started my career in public accounting, but I just felt that I learned so much and got to a point where I had made senior manager at Deloitte and decided that it was time to leverage my background and my entrepreneurial spirit to start Signature Analytics. And so took my knowledge base and my background. I started Signature Analytics in October of 2008, which is actually when the world was falling apart. I think a week later, Lehman Brothers collapsed and we had the whole financial meltdown and everything. But I said, well, if I'm going to do this, this is the time. And I didn't have any employees at the time, so there was just kind of counting on myself and started Signature Analytics. And the idea behind that was that even at Deloitte, I worked with a lot of small, mid-sized businesses, and they really looked at accounting and finance and financial leadership as a necessary evil. And so the idea was that if we can provide that top level talent to this market and really focus on transitioning that mindset from necessary evil to value add, there's a significant value that finance and accounting can bring to a company that will allow them to scale beyond where they are now. And it's almost necessary to get to a certain point beyond where you are now. And so we're able to provide that leadership, that skill set, and that knowledge base to these companies that they wouldn't otherwise be able to afford or necessarily need on a full-time basis.
What I like about that is you saw the value of making it a priority, because of what I've seen a lot of times, people get caught up in the day-to-day whirlwind of running the business, and they don't put enough time and attention to developing and improving the business to change what's possible. And you've built a pretty significant company. You mentioned you had how many employees?
About 80 employees, across multiple states now. Yeah.
What are some of the things that you've come across on your journey of growth? What do you think it takes? What are the things that are holding people back from crossing that threshold from being maybe at the small business and they're trying to grow, but they just can't seem to get past a certain point?
Right.
It's kind of loaded
I think
question.
the mindset that I always took, and I could just take this from personal experience and what I've seen out in the marketplace, but always, even from the beginning, having that mindset of scalability. So how do we scale this company, right? How do we build a foundation that allows for scale beyond myself, right? So see a lot of business owners that get sucked up in the company and the business becomes them, and they haven't scaled or built the team, the leadership team, to allow them to grow beyond where they currently are. So scalability is critical. That leads to, in my mind, not trying to be the smartest person in the room. So I want to bring on people that are actually smarter than me. I want to bring on people that can help us to achieve the goals that we have. Need to drop the ego a little bit and say, hey, what can we do? Here's the goals I have for this company. How do I surround myself with the right people that can allow us to do that? So I actually hired a CEO to come in that had significant experience in professional services about 7 years ago. That's really allowed us to triple the business to where we were from that point forward. And he brings significant expertise. We work well together. We understand our roles, and we collaborate and strategize very well together. You want to be able to see the results of the labor and the hard work that you've put in. But sometimes, there's always a balance between what do I invest or reinvest in this business versus what do I what is my compensation or take home? At the end of the day, I mean, what's left over goes to the business owner, right? And
Right.
so it comes back to, and what we talk to our clients all the time is, what are your goals now, long term, and in the short term? And so if your long-term goal is to triple or quadruple or go to $100 million company and sell, well, and we need to understand how we're going to approach that. But what I find is the that nobody is as dedicated as the owner, and those individuals, no matter how good they are, they still need leadership. And you still have to know every aspect of your business intimately. Even though your background might not be marketing or sales, got to know marketing and sales, got to know accounting and finance. You don't have to know how to do debits and credits, but you got to understand the financials. How do you then scale a business and bring in all of those right individuals to support that? That's where I think outsourcing can come into play. Is you want to hire somebody that has that knowledge base, um, that can be the expert. You have to still know and lead them and provide leadership to them to be successful.
Hmm.
But maybe you don't need a full-time sales or full-time marketing team. Maybe you can outsource your marketing efforts. Maybe you can outsource your accounting or finance experts.
Are you familiar with the book Predictable Success by Les McCune by any chance?
Uh, I think I've heard of it. I have not read it though.
So I'm bringing that up just because what I like about that book is it talks about the different stages of business growth, and he
Hmm.
illustrates how you start your business and what makes it successful at some point becomes the
Yeah.
opposite way.
Right.
And I'm sure you're aware of that, but it if you don't learn to change that mindset and that habit, that's where you'll get stuck. Which another thing that you find helpful to share with others who are on their journey.
Willpower, have that confidence to do it. You can make it happen when others can't. Surround yourself with the right people, um, and and know that you're not going to be the smartest person in the room.
You mentioned something just now. They're lacking a little bit of confidence. Maybe
Hmm.
they've tried in the past and ran into a wall and they got hurt a little bit. And so now their fears in their minds and they're lacking a little bit of confidence to take some of those steps.
Hmm.
What's been your secret to solidify that confidence and get past those moments of doubt that we all as entrepreneurs can have from time to time on our journey?
Before you even start in a business, educate yourself, read books. Understanding the financial side of a business is really learning it from the ground up. Understand what the balance sheet actually means, right? A lot of business owners, they say, well, I understand the P&L over here. I don't know what the balance sheet does other than I have cash in the bank. Business coaches are critical. Find a peer group, identifying and being able to see, how you can take a business from here to that next level.
Sageful advice once again. And look at that. We're in our advisors picks section,
Yeah.
and we're talking about a few things that you've found helpful in your journey. And one of the things is a book. What's a book that you'd share?
I'm a big believer in structure. And I think books like, we talked about Traction by Gino Wickman is a very important book. There's another book, Scaling Up is very similar, but it's for larger organizations. Gino Wickman started with Scaling Up and he branched out and he created Traction. Those types of books help business owners to learn how to create structure within their organization and within their business, right? Learn how to work on your business versus work in your business. Learn how to get things done, measure success, and then move on to the next thing. So you can get a long way, running the business and being the jack of all trades. But to truly scale and take your business to the next level, you need that structure.
I'll dovetail with that suggestion. Thank you, by the way, Jason. I appreciate that. You could see it right here. A book called "Get a Grip."
Yep.
So Traction has the EOS, and I read that and got familiar with it, and then I met a guy who had the Get a Grip book and gave me a copy. And initially, I'm like, I'm not huge into storybooks,
Yeah.
but I've finally just buckled down and read it, and then I was like, oh, well, I wish I would have done this earlier because it walks through a story of a business that applied the EOS model, and it gave a different dimension of how to understand the framework. So if
Yeah.
you're tuned in, definitely consider if you've read Traction before, you probably could reread it. I've read it
Yeah.
a few times, and then if you haven't heard of Get a Grip, that's something also to check out as well. Um, Now, what is a tool that you find helpful and beneficial for that you might suggest others check out? It could be of any background, any type of tool that might help with
Yeah.
productivity tracking.
Yeah. Yeah. We're big on leveraging technology to streamline our business and how we work internally and how we
Hmm.
service our clients. It's critical. We use Asana, which is a project management tool, which is critical to our success internally and with our clients. So all of our internally, we manage our business through Asana. Each of our clients are set up on there to manage the workflow. And that type of a tool, I think, as a company grows, helps to manage and assign responsibilities, holds people accountable. Further ahead, we've leveraged Microsoft Power BI quite a bit internally to create customized dashboards that pulls data and information in from different systems to really customize the data that we see to manage our business. We're big on data. We have our certain metrics that we're tracking on a daily basis. We're professional services, so a lot of it's about utilization, realization, time entry, or how we're trending, our future forecasts, etc. So all of that information is in there. You can pull in data from Salesforce or HubSpot or whatever your CRM might be. But it is also very complex, and I would not recommend jumping into that until you've really started to define what are the metrics that I really truly do look at, and do I have clean information in all of my systems?
In your business, you help others who might not have that structure, or maybe
Right.
they have it, they don't know how to use it.
The biggest challenge I think with being able to get good information and good data is making sure that the technologies that you are using or that we are using is we have consistency in how information is going into those systems so that we can get good information coming out of it. And so big part of what we do is work with our clients to make sure we understand how are you entering information, how are you accounting? Most of what we do is around finance and accounting. So, how are you getting what visibility can we give you into your business? And then let's work with you to make sure that the information that's going into the systems is appropriate so that when we pull out information, you're getting what you need when you need it, simplified. So, what are the key reports that you need to really evaluate your business so that so you can make decisions?
Who are the types of businesses that would be good fits to work
Mhm.
with your company signature analytics?
Yeah. I think for us, it really comes down to the mindset of management. We want to work with companies that really have that growth mindset, want to take their business to the next level. The second is what we offer is scalability, flexibility, to give you that value that you wouldn't otherwise be able to afford or even have.
For those who are interested in learning more about your business, maybe they've been in business for some time, maybe they've got some leadership um, that's doing good already, but they know that, hey, we have a growth mindset. We know we can improve. Maybe
Yeah,
we have data that we'd like to utilize better. Maybe we could use some help getting some structure and systems. Where could people go and what should they do? What's a good step to
yeah.
engage?
I think the easiest is just our website. It's very easy, signatureanalytics.com. To reach out through there, we respond very quickly. I'll respond personally. If I can help you, that's great. If not, then I'll refer you to somebody that can. So 858-228-5643. Here to be a resource and help people be successful.
Awesome, Jason. I appreciate that and for taking the time to share your insights as we wrap up for today. What is a parting piece of wisdom that you'd like to share? It could be related to business, it could be anything that you've learned on your journey thus far. Parting piece of wisdom.
For business owners that are looking to take their business to the next level, um, be open. Um, know that continually work to learn. Know your business. Know every aspect of your business. Start be an expert. Try to be an expert in marketing. Try to be an expert in sales. Try to be an expert in accounting and finance. Bring in the resources. COVID allowed us and the environment to work on a more remote environment. So
Mhm.
you don't need someone in your office sitting next to you. You can find good resources that are cost effective that can really help you to grow your business.
Very wise from a very wise man. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you have tuned into this episode and you have thoughts or ideas to add to the conversation, I'd love to see them in the comments. Way to go for being such an amplifier in the world. We need more people like you continuing to shine bright.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much, Kenny.
Remember to subscribe and share because it's all about how to amplify that message. To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.